Alright, so Hawkins here with Chicken Hawk Farmstead, and this year I'm going to attempt to deep fry a turkey. Never done it before, so I watched some YouTube videos about it, looked up some information online, and we're going to see how this works out. Planning on brining it, and then then we're going to do some injectable marinades into it. Seems to be the best, and deep fry it, see how that works out. So yeah, figure this would be a fun thing to film and document. If it turns out really good, do it again. I do have one of our turkeys that we actually raised and slaughtered ourselves here on the farm that we've had in the freezer. I believe it's 2 years old, which is still perfectly fine. And so yeah, so I'm gonna go through what I'm doing the day. Today is Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. It's 8 a.m. I'm about to start the brine, so that way we should be like having the brine for a good 24 hours. It is a 17-pound turkey that we're doing, so it's a good size one. Right now I'm trying to get I'm gonna fill the pot with water with the turkey in the pot, so I can go ahead and mark my level for how much oil I'm going to put in there. And I got 3 gallons of oil right now, so I'm making sure that's enough. Another important thing. So I'll show you the bird real quick, and we'll start going through the steps over the next, a little over 24 hours or so. Alright, let's do this. Alright, there's our bird. See, there's the little labels that we made for it. We were selling these $3 a pound, which is really cheap for pasture-raised turkey, but it was one of our first years doing it. It's at 16, 17, 18. So yeah, looking at a 2-year-old bird, not too bad. This thing has been in the fridge. It said, what did it say? 1 day for every 5 pounds. It's been out there for, see, I put it out Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so 4 days, and it's still pretty frozen. I mean, not terrible. I think especially after going through the brine, it should be fine. But right now we got our big stock pot here, and at least it is going to fit in there, being that it's such a big turkey. But what I'm doing right now, I've already put a gallon worth of water in there, filling up my bottle here, and we're going to put 3 gallons worth of water in here if we have to. See what our level is with the turkey in there. Alright, so here's our bird in here, and yeah, not quite submerged. That's 3 gallons worth of water in here. That's as much oil we got, and plus there's a lot of air space inside this bag that the oil is going to be, so I'm definitely going to have to go ahead and pick up another gallon of oil. We're going to go ahead and put in another half gallon of water and see what that puts us, but I'd rather have too much than too little. And once this thing's completely thawed, they'll sit. The legs just sit a little lower. So, and that still leaves us, it's about 3 inches from the top. So, I guess I feel comfortable with that. Yeah, I think that'll work. Alright, I'm gonna dump this out, and over here, stuff. I got everything I'm gonna use for my brine. I got some kosher salt, mustard seed. I just looked up a bunch of different brine things, brining turkeys on YouTube, and saw what they use. So I'm gonna go with that. Got some Old Bay, coriander, poultry seasoning, black pepper, and you can never go wrong, garlic. So, alright, we got that, and then like I said, we also got the injectable that we're going to be using, but that's not till tomorrow. So, we'll get this stuff ready here in a second, and get this pan drained. Alright, we got our pot to start out with our seasoning here, or brine, I mean. So, we got our empty pot. I'm going to put 4 cups of water in there and start heating it up. And this is going to be, you know, our brine concentrate. So we'll get that started, and we want to heat it up so that way everything can dissolve down in there. That's the salt is the main thing we need to dissolve. So I'm gonna start with 4 cups of water, and then I'm gonna put 2 cups of salt. And like I said, I'm gonna use the kosher salt. I can get 2 cups worth out of here. Oh, okay, that's taking a really long time. So, yeah. Any day now. Probably gonna pause it and go ahead and do the second cup in just a second. Yeah. There we go. Alright, let's get the second cup. Alright, we got 2 cups of our salt in there. Mustard seed, and I'm not big on measuring, so we're just gonna until it looks about right. Okay. I don't see, and like I said, this is going into, it's gonna be going from here to about 3 gallons worth of brine, probably to cover the whole turkey. So yeah, it's gonna be diluted over a large amount of area. Our coriander. A little bit of that. Poultry seasoning. It has thyme, sage, rosemary, black pepper, nutmeg, a bunch of different ingredients in there. I figure whoever made this probably knows what they're doing. So, yeah. Black pepper. Just a little bit. Our garlic, and this is a granulated garlic, so about that much. The Obey seasoning, let's take a look and see what's all in there. I don't want to be real redundant. We got celery, spices, including mustard, red pepper, black pepper. So actually, we're going to leave this out because it's a lot of stuff that we've already put in there. The same. Another thing, we have fresh parsley and fresh rosemary. We're going to add to it. And a lot of the recipes called for brown sugar. So I'm going to put like ½ cup of brown sugar in there to give it a little sweet flavor. So I'm going to grab that real quick. Got our brown sugar here. This is the dark brown sugar. I don't know how much that's going to make a difference or not. So we're going to let this come up to simmer, cut it off, let it cool down, and then like I said, we'll get it going into our brine. Mix this up a little bit. Oh wow, it's starting to smell really good. And the big thing is you just want everything to get dissolved. At least that's what I think. I really don't. I mean, I'm just kind of winging this, like I said, for now. Try it once or twice, and then let me see. We still got a little bit before we get dissolved. Get all that salt dissolved into the water. That's what's going to help carry all the seasoning in and out of the, what are they called? The cells and the muscle. Alright, keep this going for a little bit. I think I'm going to cut it back so it doesn't actually start getting too hot. Alright, well, I'll let the brine solution continue to dissolve. I'm going to head and add 2 more cups of water there, because the pan can hold it, and it's going to help it dissolve a little quicker. But here's our pot again for doing the actual frying, and I'm going to use this to hold the brining. These are easy brining bags. I've had them for quite a while and they're sitting in the cabinet, so hey, I get to use them. It's up to 8 to a 24-pound turkey, it says. This thing's a very large bag. As you can see, it fills the pot, comes over it. So that way we can put our turkey down in there. We're going to put our browning solution in there. And we can fill it up. And yeah, so that's going to work great. We're not going to dirty our pot or anything, and we got something to easily hold it in when it does the browning. That's nice and clean. Alright, so let me check on it and let's see if this is getting to the point where it's dissolved. They turn it down to low. Oh yeah, see that? Salt's almost completely dissolved in there. So as soon as this is dissolved, we're gonna cool it down and put it in there. I'm gonna go ahead and get some ice now. We're gonna go ahead and put, I don't know, half this full of ice. That way when I put the browning concentrate in there, so it hasn't cools down. And you want this nice and cold, the browning solution nice and cold. Everything's said when you put the turkey in. Alright, let's get this part done. Alright, so this got completely dissolved. Went ahead and added some ice to help cool it down. And we filled, I said, about half of this up with ice so far. That was everything that we had in the ice maker. I do have a bag of ice and the deep freeze, so I would suggest having at least, you know, a small, if not a large, bag of ice that you pick up from the store. Or if you got an ice maker, just start filling up some gallon bags the week prior, so you got a bunch of extra ice for this part here. Alright, so I'm going to grab the cold browning solution and dump it in. I went ahead and cooled this. The reason why I dumped the ice in there was so when this gets dumped in the big bag here, it doesn't, you know, melt anything. As far as the plastic, as you can see, it's still kind of warm. Alright, we're going to add more ice and add more water, it looks like. Alright, here's our nice big old turkey here. And yeah, you can tell this is one that we did because there's still some feathers on it here and there. These things took like 30 minutes to pluck. So, yeah, that was a venture in itself, slaughtering turkeys. But, alright, we're going to pick this big guy up and go ahead and put in the brine solution. These things are pretty heavy. Here we go, we'll lower it in there. Looks like I had just enough water and ice. Maybe we're going to need a little bit more, so we'll add a little bit of water. Get it above here, and yeah, this thing will be ready to soak for a bit. Looks like we might, after this gets done, if these don't get down in there better, I might end up cutting the legs off for when I do the deep frying and just drop them in and have to pull them out with some tongs or something. Because I don't want them sticking out like that when I go to actually deep fry this thing. So we'll see how it does when it finishes thawing out all the way. Alright, let me fill this up with water and we'll get ready to top the bag. Here we go. Got all of our ice. This thing's actually frosting up. It's so cold. I guess from the heavy salt and the ice. So yeah, the legs are barely sticking up, so it looks like we may have to do something about that before we do our frying. But everything's good to go for now. We're going to throw the lid on somewhat. Yep, that'll work. And I'm going to go set this in the room and let's do a thing for the next, let's see, they say 1 pound per hour, so 17 hours. So we'll pull this out when I'm ready to use it. Yeah. So, alright, we'll see you back tomorrow, or in, yeah, half a second.